get to your first 100K fast and do whatever it takes to get you there. This is what I learned from Mr. Charlie Munger, and in fact is one of the pieces of sage advice that has kept my finances on track for quite some time now. So in this episode, I'll discuss how I went about saving my first 100K. But before that, it is critically important to understand why we are talking about the 100K rather than the first $1,000. It is because when you increase your capital, your compounding really matches up. So for example, if you put your $1,000 into an investment that pays you 8% interest, you'll have $8 at the end of the year. However, if you put 100,000 in, you will have 8,000. Now with compounding, this grows and grows and grows. And over the years, the difference becomes too significant to ignore, which is why we are talking about our first 100K. So in my case, and probably in your case too, you are better off by saving more money. However, when you are earning $100, the maximum you probably can realistically save is $80 at max, probably like $20, probably $10. However, when you are earning $1,000, you probably can save $800 or even $100 with a lot more ease. So the first thing to do before you think about saving more is in fact earn more money. So this indeed was my strategy in the first few years. My first few years, I really invested in learning skills that make me more money. After that, I switched over to actually earning more money. And once you earn more, you get to save more. And then once you get to save more, you get to invest more of that money. Which brings me to the second point, which is I started really delving into the tax efficient accounts. For example, when you are putting away your money towards a 401k or your pension accounts in the US or in the UK, you are effectively getting an advantage from a tax perspective, which means that if you chose not to invest in your pension, you would give out 40% of that to the taxman. However, by investing into a pension fund, you are deferring that tax and letting that money grow over the years for your retirement. So my second strategy was to dive down deeper and maximize my pension contributions. Something I did alongside saving into my pension was putting my money into something called an ISA. The equivalent for this is the Roth IRA in the US. And what happens when you invest through a vehicle like that is that the interest income is not taxed. So if you have 100K saved into your ISA and you grow it at an 8% interest, so you'll end up having that 8,000 at the end of 1 year without paying tax, and you can reinvest that and all of that will remain tax-free. The next thing to consider is how you can live below your means. This does not mean that you have to go through tremendous amount of hardship to actually live below your means. What it really means is think about creative ways of how you can save more money. For example, whether that be moving in with your parents for a bit. And I did not get a chance to do this, so I actually paid a lot of rent for most parts of my adult life. Or you could think about renting out your spare room on an Airbnb. So for me, what I did was I always lived in a place that was way more affordable to me than what I could afford at the time. This does not mean that I live in fashionable places. This simply means that instead of going for that 5-bedroom house, I am happy to live in a 2-bed house. And then instead of using and putting your capital towards your own house, you can actually make that capital go to work by being invested in something else that makes more money. For example, put it in the market or buy a property that you can rent out or buy part of a business. And the next thing I did was I started creating side hustles. Side hustles actually have been my thing since the time I was 17 or 18. So I already knew that I could make a lot of money on the internet. So that did not come as a surprise to me. I have made quite a lot of money on the internet, and having side hustles has always given me this creative outlet that typically I don't get in my corporate job. So having side hustles and then failing fast when something doesn't work out has been one of the biggest joys of my life, because how many people get to say that they fail publicly on a regular basis, and also that is a money-making endeavor. So try and create side hustles that will pay you the additional money. For example, you could try out delivering on Uber Eats, or mowing the lawn for someone, or dressing up as Santa this Christmas. The possibilities of earning money and how you can make money through the side hustles is limitless. However, I will say that there are some side hustles that are far more scalable than something where you would have to dress up as Santa. So try getting into the scalable side hustles. And if you are interested in scalable side hustles, I'll leave a link to my blog below. I have a very well-researched article on the topic that is completely free of charge. So go check that out below. Wish you a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you the next time. Bye.